This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Hello. So let's start our class. Okay, instead of wait of other people. Okay, it's already 6 minutes late. Let's open our document. Okay, fine. So in our last class, we were understanding that something like Python introduction, right? So you already know that how we can able to install the Python in our local machine, right? How many people are install the Python software in your computers? Rushita Reddy, did you install it or not? Jagadish, Joshna, Kishore.
Yeah, sir.
సో రాధాకృష్ణ కిషోర్ జాయిన్ అయ్యిండు బట్ మొబైల్ ఆడియో ఆప్షన్ కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు. ఒకసారి మనోడికి ఫోన్ చేసి కొంచెం నావిగేట్ చేయమ్మా. ఓకే, సో అర్షద్ పాషా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసావమ్మా? అర్షద్ పాషా, హ్యావ్ యూ ఇన్స్టాల్ ది పైథాన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇన్ యువర్ లోకల్ కంప్యూటర్ ఆర్ నాట్? సతీష్,
Sir.
ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసావా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ని నీ కంప్యూటర్ లో? ఎందుకు మీరు ఖాళీగా, ఎందుకు మీరు ఆన్సర్స్ ఇవ్వరు? అడిగిన ఒక పేరు పిలిచినప్పుడు ఎంపటినే పలకాలని తెలియదా? పాషా, కెన్ హియర్ మీ ఆర్ నాట్? మీ వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు పాషా. అట్లీస్ట్ వాట్సాప్ సారీ గోటు మీటింగ్ చాట్లో ఉన్న మీరు రెస్పాన్స్ ఇవ్వండి. సతీష్, మీరు ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ని? రమ్య, ప్రసాద్, కిషోర్, జోష్న, జగదీష్, రుషిత,
Yes, sir.
సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారా మీ లోకల్ కంప్యూటర్స్లో?
Yes, sir.
ఓకే, గుడ్ ఎనఫ్. సతీష్, యాక్చువల్లీ అజయ్ లెఫ్ట్ అయ్యిండు, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి రమ్మని చెప్పమ్మా.
Sir.
Okay. Now, today's class, what I would like to tell you and how we can, what are other softwares we have it. So today's class is also, it's a Python basic syntax. It's a Python basic syntax actually. Okay. So let's talk about Python basic syntax. When we are talking about Python basic syntax, Radhakrishna, today topic name is Python basic syntax. You could give it the name as Python basic syntax. Okay. So in this particular session, I would like to go for explain about what is syntax, what is syntax, okay, and what is instruction, okay. Next one is what are the instructions we have it, what are the instructions we have it, and what is comment. Next one is what is statement, okay, and what is keywords, and what is identifier. Next one is what is variable. Okay, the agenda of this particular session is we'll go for understanding the Python basic syntax. So under the Python basic syntax, so these are the top sub things I would like to explain it. What is syntax? What is instruction? What are the instructions we have it? What is comment and what is statements? What is keywords? What is identifier? And what is variable? And what is data type? Okay, what is data type? So this is the agenda of this particular class. If you want it, please take the screenshot. Otherwise, I can share the document of what I was explaining this particular session. Before I would like to go for explaining these particular things, I just want to tell you we are going to be using the another software for execution of the Python statements or to implementing some kind of applications. So we have another software. So most of the data scientists are using the that particular software. So let's go for downloading the that specific software. Okay, the name of the software is it's Anaconda. Let's go and open the Google Chrome, and I would like to tell you how to install that particular software. So so we have software name is it's Anaconda. So the www.anaconda.com. When we are entering into this particular website, here we have the download option is there. Okay, if you are using the Mac, it will showing the Apple symbol. If you are using the Windows, so download and Windows symbol, you will get it. So you just click on this one. When you are clicked on it, it is start downloading actually. So actually in my computer, I already installed the Anaconda so that I cancel here, but you can download the this particular Anaconda software. Once downloadation is done, then you would like to go for double click on it, go for next, automatically it can be installed. Clear? Is it clear or not?
Clear, sir.
Okay, so once you are installing the Anaconda software, then what you can do, you can open it. So why I'm explaining, why I would like to suggesting the Anaconda navigator, when you compare with standard Python software, the Anaconda software is very free and friendly. Okay, so that I would like to go for open the Anaconda software in my local computer. I'm just opening it. So make sure that you should downloading the Anaconda software in your computer. If you're not installed, make sure that you should install it. Once installation is done, here once if you're opening the Anaconda Navigator, so there are some other sub applications are there. So even data loader also it can help you to executing the Python for data analysis. And IBM Watson is also can be used for data analysis or data visualization. And this is Jupyter Lab. This can be also can be doing some kind of programs. So in an interactive way. And you know what, so this notebook, it's a web-based interactive compute notebook. Most of the companies are using different, even if you're using the AWS, if you're using the Azure internally, so this Jupyter this notebook platform will be there. So that I would like to launch the this Jupyter notebook. Okay, so which is opening in my local server, but in real time it will be available in the servers, actually original servers. So when you're opening the this particular Anaconda or Jupyter notebook, it can able to accessing the your local files. This is my desktop, and within this particular desktop, I have already created a folder with your batch name. So I just click on it, and this is my first module, which is the Python. And yesterday I was just explaining the introduction of Python programming language. And this particular session, I would like to go for creating the, or I would like to go for explaining the Python basic syntax. So I'm just giving the name for this particular file is, it's a 0803. So today date is 03, right? It's a 2022. And here I would like to go for explaining the Python basic syntax. So when I'm talking about Python basic syntax, so first I already told you, right? So you would like to go for understanding the what is syntax. Basically, this is the box you can use in two ways. One is for creating the document as well as to create some kind of Python code. So I want to use this particular cell. I want to use this particular box as the documentation purpose. Then you just click on here and you can selecting the heading. When I'm selecting the heading, so it automatically giving this particular hash character, which means that which is the heading. Okay, so I want to write the heading as it's a what is syntax. Okay, so I want to tell you what exactly the syntax. Tell me guys, anyone? Tell me what is syntax. Syntax means the structure. So when you're writing some kind of programs, the structure for writing a program. So if you want to write the program, structure to write a program. Okay, if you want to be write some particular program, the program it can be anything. The program it can be anything. If you want to write that particular program, we have to follow some kind of structure. Okay, that structure, the rules that we are calling it, say the rules or structure, we have to write some, we have to follow some kind of structure, and we have to follow some kind of rules and regulations to write a program that we are calling it, say syntax. Now let's go for understanding the what is program. I think you guys are already know it, the definition of the program. Now anyone can answer it? Joshna, tell me what is program?
It's a group of statements.
Yeah, it's a collection of statements. As it's a group of statements. It's a collection of statements. Okay. But then what? It's a collection of statements. Instead of writing the statements, you can say that it's a collection of instructions. Collection of instructions to do any one specific task. Any one specific task. That we are calling it's a program, right? So now my intention is we need to go for understanding the what is instruction. My next question is what is instruction? Tell me now. What is instruction? Tell me guys, what is instruction? So instruction means it's just a line of code. A line of code in a program. A line of code in a program that we are calling its instruction. So when you're writing on particular program, we need to write some kind of line of code, right? Lines of code. So each and every line, it could be instruction. It was trying to read by the CPU. Sometimes the CPU can recognizing the instructions. Sometimes it cannot recognizing the instructions. Okay. So based upon this particular recognition by the CPU, there are two types of instructions are there. How many types? There are two types of instructions. Two types of instructions. The first one is comments. Okay. Second one is the statements. There are two types of instructions are there. The first one is the comments and the second one is the statements. So these comments and statements can be included in the program. So you can write any kind of program. So the program, it could be included the comments and statements. Is it clear? Tell me guys, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Prashant not yet joined.
I will inform, sir, but I message in WhatsApp
Okay.
once I'm trying.
Now please mute your system. Okay. So there is two types of instructions are there in a program, the comments and statements, right? So once if you understood the what are the comments and what are the statements with a program. So if you want to see the result of this one, you just click on the run, which is creating the one more box. You just see it here. So which it can be something like document, right? This document, you can easily read it. This document, you can easily read it. Okay. That's what. So this is the box. We can use it in two ways. One is for writing some kind of documentation purpose, and the second one is we can write some kind of code. Let me go for understanding the comments. So basically, comments means it can be started with hash character. So let's go for understanding the comments. Anybody can tell me what is comments? Comments means to give the description, to explain, or to describe the statements or functions or program in a to describe the statements and functions in a program. Okay, that means documentation purpose again. Okay, so basically there are two types of comments are there. There are two types. The first one is the single line comments. Single line comments. Second one is the multi-line comments. Actually, you need to understood here. The comments are the instructions which cannot be executable. Simply, what I'm trying to tell you, the comments are not actually comments are instructions. Whatever the instructions we have it, instructions, whatever the instructions which are not readable by CPU, not by the human being. Readable by CPU. The CPU cannot understand. The CPU cannot read some kind of instructions. How it is possible? So we can implementing the either single line comment, either multi-line comment. Single line comment means a line which is started with hash character. Start with hash character. So you can line start with hash character. So that line, it cannot be executable. Okay, so from this particular program, the first line here, there is this hash, right? So this is the hash indicating that this is the first line which is not executable. When it comes to the multi-line comment, so we can stop hiding the by CPU. Okay, so at a time multiple lines. If you want to do that, we can have the triple quotes. So within the triple quote, we can write multiple statements. Within triple quote, so within triple quote, we can write multiple lines, right? So here this is the triple line and this is also the triple quote. Within this triple quote, we can write the multiple lines. This all multiple lines which cannot be executable. Okay, so even you write the 100 lines, the CPU cannot read these 100 lines. Okay, so when you want to write some kind of more number of lines, if you want to hide it, then go for the triple quote. If you want to hide only single line, then we can go with the single line comment. So basically these comments can be implemented by the programmer only for in future references while you're writing some kind of, while you understand some kind of statements, execution statements, task. Next, we need to go for understanding the statements. Statement means which can be executable. Statements means, statements also it's a instructions only. The instructions are readable by CPU. So if and only if the CPU can able to read it, so that it can able to execute it, or it might be raise some kind of error. If you're facing some, if you're giving, if you did any kind of mistake, then automatically the CPU can raise some kind of error. Or else if you're not providing, if you're not giving any kind of error, then automatically it can be executed. You will get the output actually. Okay, so whatever the instructions, it can be readable by the CPU. Those particular instructions we are calling it statements. Let's go for write a small program. So here I want to print the hello. So print is the function which is printing something on the screen. So I'm printing the hello. So this is the 12th statement. It can read by the CPU so that you will able to execute it. The CPU can execute it. You will get the output on the screen. Okay, and the next one is, if we want to be hold some kind of information in one of the variable, so we can assign it some data to the variable. And so what is the meaning of it? So here the 123, which is holding into the data into a name of a into some specific memory location. Okay, see, this is the 13th statement also, or 13th instruction also can understand by the CPU, so that it was assigning some space in the memory to store some data into that particular memory location. I want to be print this particular, I want to access this particular memory location, then simply we can give the print of a. See, this 12th, 13th and 14th are the statements which is understand by the CPU, so that it was generating some kind of program, or it was generating some kind of output actually. Okay, so once if you write the program, you just run it. Here we have the run option, you just run it. So when you're writing when you're executed, you're getting output here itself. So again, if you want to write one more program, we can use the same cell here itself. Okay, so guys, can you please note this example? I just wait for 2 minutes. By the time of 2 minutes, you just note this particular things. Ram Prasad, Pasha, Satish, Ramya, are you guys are following my points or not? Raghav, Prasad, Kishore, Joshna, Jagadish, Arshita.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Satish, Ajay not yet joined. Satish,
Sir,
Ajay not yet joined.
no need, sir. I will call him them.
Okay. Yeah, noted this particular program, guys. I can wait for 2 minutes. Once done, let me know. Actually, I can share this particular document, but anyway, you can note it. Okay. So you guys are understood the what is comment and what is statements also understood, right? Now let's go for understanding the keywords. So what is keywords? Okay, so keywords means some of the names which are already defined. Some names are already defined in Python, defined in that particular programming language, but we are talking about Python programming language, right? So that we are define some kind of names in Python software. Okay, so these are the names are specially designed for some kind of specific tasks. Okay, some names are already defined in Python software. So each and every name which is designed for some kind of specific task actually. I just want to know it. What are the keywords are there in Python? So all the keywords are already incorporated in one particular library. The name of the library is the keyword library. But directly we can't access the library keywords here. So what you can do with help of one more keyword is there. So import is the keyword. With help of the import keyword we can able to access this particular library. Inside of this particular library all the keywords are stored here. I just want to look this all the keywords. So we have the kw list is the variable. This is the variable which is there inside of the keyword library. So we can use the keyword.kw list which is listing the all the keywords are available in Python 3. Okay, you just note this keywords, this false, none, true, phase parser, and, as, asynchronous, await,
class, def,
continue. Okay, del, elif, else, except, finally, for, from, global, if. These are all the keywords. So each and every keyword which is specially designed for. Okay, so you don't need to worry about this each and every keyword. So based upon the topic wise I would like to introduce this all keywords here. Is it clear my point? Just note this example. You just note this all keywords. So before coming tomorrow session you have to practice this all keywords. You just remember this all keywords. So each and every keyword.
ఏ పిన్నిపోయింది క్లాస్ క్లాస్ నవ్వకొత్తగా కాదు ఏం చేయాలి
Hello
వాడు మాట్లాడుతుండ్రు ఏం చేయాలి
Satish Vide, what happened man? You just mute your system. Okay guys, you just listed all the keywords in your Python programming language. Okay, these are all the keywords are available in Python 3. Make sure that we need to note it, these all keywords, and by heart it. So these all keywords we are going to be using in future. By the time of using I can explain the what is what, why we are using this particular keyword. Okay, so I can explain the topic wise. So each and every topic it may be having some kind of keywords. That time I can explain this each and every keyword. Okay, now let's go for understanding the identifier. So when it comes to the identifier, so which is quite opposite for the keyword. What is identifier? When I'm talking about identifier, so it's quite opposite for the keyword. So keywords are specially designed for, right? But when it comes to the identifier, which is user defined names, the programmer defines some kind of names. Programmer can define some names for his own specific purpose actually by the time of writing the program. So when you want to develop this kind of names, we have to follow some kind of rules. You have to follow the rules. The first rules are, so the rule is we can use the alphabets. So whatever the alphabets we have it, small a to small z or capital A to capital Z, we can use it. Next one is we have a digits, right? We can use the digits also. Third one is we have one more thing is there. We can use digits. One more thing, we have underscore, right? We can use underscore. So underscore is shift with minus. So only these three things we can use it, but we have negative rules also there. I can explain you after showing some examples. Actually, this identifier, we can use some names, right? The names here, variables. The names are variables names. If you want defining some name of variables, if you want to defining some kind of functional names, if you want to define some kind of classes names, then identifier will help you. Okay. So here, for understanding of this particular rules, I would like to go for understanding the variable. So the variable is, it's just a name. So where here I'm using only alphabets, and it can able to holding some kind of data. Okay. So here we are using alphabets, right? So equal to 123. I just want to print the var. Okay. So here we are not facing any kind of, we are not breaking any kind of rule, so that we are getting output. So I can use the digits, right? So var to or va to r we are using. For example, 45 we are holding. I want to print it this one va to r. So here also we are not getting any kind of error. So for example, if you want to use the underscore digits as well as capital letters also, I want to use it. This time also we are not getting any kind of error. Okay, see, this 3 times we are following the rules so that we are not getting any kind of error. Okay, for example, I would like to start with the digit. We can use the digit, but when you try to access, when you try to start with the digit, by the time we will get the error. We will get the error. So the error is, it's a syntax error. When you are breaking the rule, the time you will get this particular syntax error. So based upon this particular syntax error, I can write the, here the rule is, don't start with the digit. Don't start with the digit. So why we are getting the error? Because of you're starting with the digit. Because of that one, we are getting error. Okay. Now I can use some keyword as the identifier. So the time what happened we'll see. For example, rise 45. So here the rise is the keyword. If I'm using the rise keyword, then what happens? So we are getting again syntax error, which means the keywords also not allowed. Don't use keywords. Okay. So let me do one more thing. Same only, but this time I can use the capital rise. Okay. If I'm using the capital rise, then what happens? We are getting output only. I already told you, right? Rise is the keyword, but if I'm using the keyword, then I would like to get error, right? But thing is that I'm not getting error here when I'm using the capital letters. The reason is that Python is the case sensitive. Uppercase letters are different, smaller case letters are different. So the rise, smaller rise and capital rise both are different in computer perspective, so that in an 8th line we are not getting any kind of error, but in case of 7th line we got some kind of error over here. Clear? Is this clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Now I can use some kind of special characters. For example, at the rate symbol is a special character. Other than the digit, other than the underscore, other than alphabets, whatever you can see on the keyboard, everything it could be special characters. If I'm using these special characters, okay, Even that time also we are getting the syntax error. Based upon this one, I can go and write the comment or rule over here. The rule is don't use special characters. So these are all special characters only. Okay, we have more, etc. We have more special characters are there. Those are all special characters. Don't use those special characters by the time of creating the identifiers. Clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, guys. Okay, now let's go for understanding the data type. What is data types? Okay, so actually this particular data types classes I can explain you by tomorrow's session. Okay, the reason is that it will take a lot of time to understanding the data types. What are the data types are there in Python? So it will take almost 40 minutes of time, so that we'll go and understanding the data types by tomorrow class. Okay, yeah, make sure that we'll come for session tomorrow as well. And at this time I would like to share you if I'm changing anything. Okay, yeah, take care guys, bye, see you.